Imagine your body as a high-performance machine. Now realize that most people are operating that machine without ever reading the manual. For decades, we have been told that aging is an inevitable slide into decay, but biohacking is the urgent correction to that myth. It is the practice of taking total control of your biology through intentional, data-driven lifestyle choices. We are in a silent battle against environmental toxins, processed inputs, and sedentary stagnation that is literally rewriting our genetic code for the worse. The term biohacking might sound like something from a science fiction novel, but it is deeply rooted in the fundamental physics of survival. It is about understanding that your biology is not a fixed script, but an open-source software that you can edit. If you are not actively optimizing, you are passively declining. Every decision you make, from the moment you wake up to the second your head hits the pillow, is a signal to your cells. This guide is your tactical entry into that world. We are not talking about expensive gear or unproven chemicals. We are talking about the core architecture of human health. Over the next few minutes, we will dismantle the foundation of your current habits and replace them with a blueprint for superior function. You have been a spectator in your own health for too long. Today, we change the protocol. If you fail to master these foundational principles, you are leaving your longevity to chance, and in a world optimized for profit over health, that is a dangerous gamble.
Sleep is not passive downtime. It is a biological imperative of high-stakes maintenance. Every night you go to sleep, a specialized plumbing system in your brain called the glymphatic system activates. It is literally pressure washing metabolic waste, including the beta amyloid proteins linked to neurodegenerative disease, from your skull. If you cut your sleep short, you are leaving toxic sludge to build up in your cognitive engine. This is why you feel foggy and reactive. Your sleep happens in 90-minute cycles, oscillating between light sleep, deep physical restoration, and the complex psychological processing of REM sleep. Deep sleep is where your body builds bone, repairs muscle, and strengthens the immune system. REM is where your brain solves problems and regulates emotions. If you are waking up exhausted, you are likely failing one of these cycles. To fix this, you must treat your light environment like a pharmacy. In the evening, blue light from your phone is a drug that tells your brain it is midday, suppressing melatonin and crushing your sleep quality before you even close your eyes. If you do not block this light, you are sabotaging your recovery. Temperature is the second lever. Your core temperature must drop to initiate sleep. If your room is over 67 degrees, your brain stays in a state of high alert. This is why a hot bath before bed works. The rapid cooling after you get out mimics the biological signal for deep rest. But even if you master the night, you will fail if you ignore the morning. Bright sunlight in your eyes within the first hour of waking is the master switch that sets your circadian clock. Without that morning signal, your sleep-wake cycle becomes a chaotic drift. Mastering sleep architecture is the most powerful performance enhancer known to man, and it costs nothing but discipline.
Most people view food as a simple fuel gauge, a matter of calories in versus calories out. This is a catastrophic misunderstanding of human physiology. Every bite you swallow is not just energy, it is a complex packet of information. It communicates directly with your hormones, your gut microbiome, and your gene expression. You are essentially feeding your body a line of code every time you eat. If you eat processed garbage, you are giving your system a corrupt file that leads to inflammation and cellular dysfunction. The first law of nutritional biohacking is nutrient density. You are looking for the maximum concentration of minerals and phytochemicals per calorie. Leafy greens, wild fish, and cruciferous vegetables are not just healthy choices, they are software updates for your metabolism. Then we must discuss metabolic flexibility. This is the body's ability to switch seamlessly between burning glucose from carbs and ketones from stored fat. Most modern humans have lost this ability, leaving them trapped in a cycle of blood sugar spikes and energy crashes. By using time-restricted eating, typically an 8 to 12-hour window, you force your body to tap into its own energy stores. This rest period gives your digestive tract a chance to repair the gut lining and lowers systemic inflammation. If you want to take this to the next level, you need to know exactly how your body responds to specific inputs. No two people handle a potato the same way. By tracking your glucose response, you can see if a healthy food is actually causing an invisible inflammatory spike in your system. This is the difference between following a generic diet and executing a personal biological strategy. Nutrition is not a set of rules, it is a continuous feedback loop between you and your environment.
Our ancestors survived in a world of extreme heat, biting cold, and frequent fasting. Modern life, with its climate control and constant food, has made us biologically fragile. To trigger true longevity, we must deliberately activate the survival switch known as hormesis. This is the biological phenomenon where a brief, controlled dose of stress triggers a massive compensatory repair mechanism. Think of it as a vaccine for aging. When you step into a cold shower or an ice bath, your body believes it is in a life-threatening situation. It responds by flooding your system with cold shock proteins, increasing norepinephrine and activating brown fat, which burns white fat for heat. It is a total system reboot. Similarly, the intense heat of a sauna triggers heat shock proteins that act like cellular chaperones, preventing proteins from folding incorrectly and clogging up your cells. These stressors don't just make you tougher, they force your cells to clear out damaged components through a process called autophagy. This is literally cellular recycling. If you live your entire life in the comfort of 72 degrees, you are essentially telling your body that it does not need to maintain its high-end survival hardware. You are allowing your cellular repair mechanisms to go dormant. You must seek the uncomfortable. A few minutes of extreme temperature can do more for your long-term resilience than hours of moderate activity. Comfort is a slow poison. Biohacking is about reintroducing the healthy tension that kept our ancestors sharp. Without this stress, your body loses its incentive to stay young and vital. You must embrace the shock to reap the reward. At the heart of your health are the mitochondria, the ancient organelles that power every single thought, heartbeat, and movement you make. They are the engines of the cell, and in most people, these engines are misfiring. When your mitochondria are weak, you experience what we call aging, fatigue, and brain fog. Biohacking your mitochondria is about optimizing energy production at the most fundamental level. These organelles are highly sensitive to light and movement. If you spend your day under fluorescent lights in a cubicle, you are depriving your mitochondria of the specific wavelengths they need to function. Natural red and near-infrared light from the sun penetrate deep into your tissues to stimulate the respiratory chain within the mitochondria, increasing the production of ATP, the currency of cellular energy. This is why morning light is a biological requirement, not a luxury. But movement is the other critical component. You don't just exercise to burn calories, you exercise to create more mitochondria. High-intensity interval training, or HIIT, creates a massive demand for energy that forces your cells to biogenesis, literally creating new power plants to meet the load. Furthermore, we must address the blue light trap. Excessive exposure to high-energy blue light late in the day creates oxidative stress in your retinal mitochondria, which has ripple effects throughout your entire nervous system. By protecting your light environment and providing consistent physical challenge, you ensure your cellular batteries remain fully charged. If your mitochondria fail, your system fails.
You must protect the power plants of your life at all costs, ensuring they have the fuel and the environment they need to keep the lights on for decades to come.
Biohacking is not just about the physical body, it is about the master controller, the nervous system. Most people live in a state of chronic, low-level sympathetic activation, commonly known as the fight or flight response. This constant state of tension is a slow-motion disaster for your longevity. To hack this, we look to the vagus nerve, the longest nerve of the autonomic nervous system. It is the highway that carries signals between your brain and your internal organs. By mastering the vagus nerve, you can manually flip your body from a state of stress to a state of rest and digest in a matter of seconds. One of the most effective tools for this is box breathing. By regulating your breath with specific ratios, you send a direct signal to the brain that the environment is safe. This isn't just relaxation, it is neurochemical engineering. It lowers cortisol, stabilizes heart rate variability, and improves cognitive function. Mindfulness and meditation are the long-term training programs for this system, allowing you to observe your internal states without being hijacked by them. When you are stressed, your blood is shunted away from your digestive and immune systems to your muscles. If you stay in this state, you are literally starving your long-term health to pay for a short-term crisis that may not even exist. Learning to manually down-regulate your nervous system is the ultimate biohack for the modern world. It allows you to stay calm in the face of pressure and preserves your biological resources for healing and growth rather than defense. Your mind is the interface through which you experience your biology. If you cannot control your focus and your breathing, you cannot control your life.
Now we bring it all together into a master protocol, a 24-hour blueprint for optimization. Your day begins with direct sunlight and hydration with electrolytes to prime your mitochondria. You utilize a condensed eating window, prioritizing nutrient density to feed your cellular code. You incorporate a deliberate stressor, a cold plunge or a high-intensity burst to trigger hormesis. Throughout the day, you use breathwork to maintain vagal tone and prevent the stress response from taking over. As the sun sets, you dim the lights, block blue frequencies, and cool your environment to prepare for the architecture of deep sleep. This is the cycle of the high-functioning biohacker. But beware the biohacker's trap. Many people get so obsessed with the data and the gadgets that they forget the core purpose, to live. The single mistake that ruins all progress is chronic obsession. If biohacking becomes another source of stress, you are defeating the entire purpose. The goal is to build these habits into your subconscious until they become your natural baseline. Biohacking is not a sprint to a destination. It is the constant refinement of the journey. You have the tools, you have the science, and you have the blueprint. The only variable left is your action. Take control of your biology today, or someone else will do it for you tomorrow. This is your life. Own it, optimize it, and outlast the status quo. The future of your health is in your hands.